Bungie is so cute.
Picks him up and eats him.
Oh no. No. Don't do that. Don't do that thing you just said.
Eats him.
No. Hi everyone, we're the Emperor Smile Podcast, here to brighten your day. This is episode 12. I am Amie, aka Wi-Fi Daily.
I'm Cali, aka dailyjiangcheng.
And I'm Ruki, aka Bluetooth Daily.
So, happy Chinese New Year.
Eve, technically.
We're recording this on Chinese New Year,
Yeah, it's going to be released like 2 days after Chinese New Year's.
But for those, happy past Chinese New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
And Lunar New Year.
Year of the Rat, the plague.
Hell yeah. I'm here.
So today's...
Both Amy and I are actually Year of the Rat, so this is our year.
Oh, damn. I'm a tiger.
Nice.
You're the one left out. It's a rat podcast over here. No cats allowed.
I can't believe this. Discrimination. Anyways.
So
it'd be perfect if we were bunnies.
You right.
You want to keep fucking interrupting me when I'm trying to get this podcast?
Absolutely. Okay, sorry.
Today's topic is someone has said liking childish things as an adult. Example, cartoons, comics, cosplays, aka how to deal with the fear of peer ridicule amongst adults. Plus, like, advice for kids who are going to be going through this in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So what's our take on that?
I think it's pretty clear from our past episodes. Me and Cali both really like cartoons.
Yeah.
I do too.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to say it now. I don't really care what other people think in terms of what I like. Like, I'll say it right now. I like My Little Pony, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
That's my shit. I like that. And I have no shame in saying it. And people that try to ridicule me for it, I'm just like, bro, that's on you. If you don't like it, fine, whatever. But I just do my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, if I enjoy it, if it brings me joy and it's just fun to watch, then I'm just going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That point blank. There's nothing else to it.
Look, if you hate the power of friendship, you can go.
You're right, though.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if it makes me happy, then what's the shame in it, you know?
Mm.
Like, it's not hurting anyone. It's not bothering anyone, like, unless you're shoving it down their throat.
Mm.
But other than that, if you're not bothering anyone with it and it's not hurting anyone,
then they don't really have a right to, like, ridicule you for it.
They just think they're cool.
They like their things and we like our things. It's just a matter of taste.
Mm-hmm.
But to give advice in the sense of just how to deal with, like, the fear of people, like, judging you for it, just try not to let it get to you too much, because they don't know you. They don't know, like, anything about you. They shouldn't be judging you just for the one thing that you like.
And honestly, like, even the things that they may believe are childish really aren't. Like, you are aware that the content is actually, like, way deeper than they might imagine, but also, like, sometimes it really is just, like, some feel-good stuff and there's no shame in that. So
Yeah.
they don't really have the right to, like, ridicule you for liking quote-unquote childish things, because it's just up to you. It's what you like, so they have no right.
At some point, you just kind of realize, hey, if it makes you happy, and this is a cold and hard world, why not hold on to the things that make you happy, you know?
People that just judge you are, in a sense, a little insecure because they feel like they can't enjoy certain things, or they have to perceive a certain image for them to be considered cool amongst other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they think those things are, like, not cool, then, well, I mean, they're missing out.
Yeah, live in your truth, man. You just gotta indulge in what makes you happy.
It's just this thing where people perceive cartoons just for children, and that's just not the case. Anyone can enjoy cartoons. It's made for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And comics and cosplay.
Yeah.
I mean, if we didn't have adults who were into it, we wouldn't even have, that stuff that exists right now.
Like, the whole essence of it is just for people to enjoy it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the whole point of it.
A lot of, I guess, the things that are regarded as childish tend to have, like, pretty good morals and stuff. Like, you mentioned it earlier, so now I'm thinking about My Little Pony. But, like, they always have a moral of a story in every episode. And there's a lot of kids' cartoons that do have that. Some of them are just feel good, but some of them, have some pretty valuable lessons about dealing with other people. And there's lots of adults who
Yep.
probably don't know how to do that.
Another good cartoon is Steven Universe. That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
That gives a lot of morals and stuff, and people sometimes diss on that just because it's popular, and I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
It's okay, though, if you kind of feel, like, shy about sharing that stuff, though.
Yeah.
There's a certain stigma, like, again, going back to the My Little Pony example.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're afraid of being labeled due to, like, the fandom surrounding it. Like, bronies, for example. A lot of them are cool. But then there's the ones that you always hear about and then you get scared of.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong in just having your own opinion and liking what you like, as long as you're not hurting anyone. You're free to explore those things that make you happy. You don't have to give any of those up in order to grow up.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're particularly worried about that, liking childish things, I would say it's not an unfounded sort of fear, but there's always going to be a community online for you.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone else who likes it too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of finding it. Sometimes it's a matter of just reaching out to that community. But, that's what online fandoms are for. Like, it's to connect with these people who have these similar interests to you. You're not alone in this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just don't be afraid to kind of just enjoy what you do. Like, whether you're a casual fan or a big fan about it, just don't let other people get to you. Just do your own thing. Enjoy yourself.
So, moving on to the audience questions. This is kind of related, unintentionally, but Anon asked, other than Modazushi, do you have any recommendations for any shows, movies, novels, etc.? Things that we like. And yeah, they can be childish if we want.
Head empty.
My Little Pony, right off bat. They did finish.
It did.
They're finished with My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, so if you want to just binge the whole thing,
Yeah.
all 9 seasons or whatever.
Jesus.
Ruki, do you want to start us off? You had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
In terms of the ongoing anime that are airing this season, there's the infamous, well, I don't know if it's infamous yet, but the toilet anime.
Toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, or also Jibaku Shonen Hanako-kun. It's
super cute.
Yes, this art style is super cute and like captivating, but it's also low key has some horror aspects, just like as a warning. But
hey, if you like Modazushi, we assume you're into that.
Yeah. It's not the super gory kind of horror. It's just kind of like creepy-ish vibes. There's also
I can't recommend anything to save my life aside from like maybe Steven Universe or something, because a lot of the shit that I'm into is it's purely random.
I mean, yeah.
Like the last thing I was into was Overwatch, and that was a fucking video game. And I can't recommend that.
Steven Universe, the main series, is now finished too.
Yeah.
So you can watch the whole thing through without having to wait for a new episode, which is good if you're, I guess, into binge watching. They are doing Steven Universe Future now, which is the sequel series, but not a necessary watch, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
Steven Universe, for people who don't know it very well, it's a story about a kid who's trying to find his purpose in life. He's walking in his mother's shadow. And for those of you who are interested, there's a lot of LGBT rep. There's non-binary characters. There's gay characters on screen, kissing too.
Yep.
It's altogether pretty wholesome. It really is about like a found family sort of thing. Character design is very beautiful in my opinion. So.
Yeah.
And also She-Ra.
She-Ra!
That's available on Netflix if you want to watch legally. And it is also, I feel like a lot of the things we're going to recommend have LGBT rep. But yes, it has LGBT rep there. The reboot series, I haven't watched the original, but the reboot series is really good. The Princesses of Power.
Yeah.
In terms of wholesomeness, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And also the 2019 Pokemon anime that's like sort of based on Sword and Shield, but also kind of like in general Pokemon.
It's definitely based on Pokemon Go too.
Yeah.
So if you play Pokemon Go, it might interest you.
Both of those are very wholesome. It's just a bunch of cute stuffs.
Speaking of wholesome, I feel like you could probably talk a little more about this one. Gakuen Babysitters.
Yes.
That one's just cute.
Isn't that the one with the one babysitter and a bunch of little kitties?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Babysitter's Club.
It's super fluffy. It's super fluffy. It's super soft. Not just the content, but like the art style and animation too. It's very soft
Mm-hmm.
and adorable.
Yeah.
Well, we already mentioned Carol and Tuesday in the past episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please watch Carol and Tuesday. Also available on Netflix. That second season just came out on Netflix, so it's all legal.
Given also has good music and LGBT representation.
Yeah, Given was good.
Oh, we just finished watching Beastars. Beastars is pretty good. It's high school drama.
It's kind of dark though, but I mean, if you're watching Modazushi, then I mean,
What was it called?
Beastars.
Beastars.
What's it about?
So some people will call it the furry anime.
Ah. Oh, wait. I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah, it's about, this was a trope that might interest some people, but it's about a wolf who kind of falls in love with a rabbit.
Oh.
But there's like a lot of love triangles and drama.
Man, imagine being in a love triangle. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's more like a square of some sort. Oh, Neja. I want to recommend that too.
Neja, yeah.
If you like the Chinese aesthetics, Neja is a Chinese movie. I think they're going to come out with the Zhang something. I just remember his name was Zhang because Zhang Chang.
They're making a second movie that's kind of like a continuation of Neja, kind of.
It's not. It's a different myth, but Neja will appear in it. I think Legend of Hay also. I haven't watched that, but I've heard that's good.
Yes.
So I can't quite recommend it myself, but it looks really good. The animation looks really beautiful for that too. If you can't tell, I really like animation.
Yes.
Wait, I can recommend the series.
Oh,
go ahead.
The Tangled series, the cartoon one.
Ooh.
That one's really good. I love it so much. I need to catch up on it, but from what I've seen so far, I really, really like it. I love the art style, and I love the story that's going along with it as well.
I don't think I've seen it.
I like the art style, and I also like Varian. The fan art I've seen of Varian. Yeah. So I want to watch it for him. I haven't gotten the chance to. Maybe we should watch it together later or something.
Yeah. The song that got really popular that got people to know more about the series was Ready as I'll Ever Be.
Oh, that was from the Tangled series?
Yeah, that was from the Tangled series. Like I had
Oh my god. I didn't know.
I had stumbled upon it on when I used to have Demand, and I was there when I first watched that episode and the song came out, and then I saw it get crazy, and I'm like, But no, Ready as I'll Ever Be came from the Tangled cartoon series. It's really good.
Okay, I gotta watch it. Sure then.
We could watch it together sometime.
Hell yeah, let's marathon.
Hell yeah.
Ruki, you're joining us.
Yeah. I know. The last ongoing anime that I wanted to suggest was the one that kind of sort of already went on like a little viral hype-ish thing with its character designs and also because of the opening, I think. Eizouken.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your hands off of Eizouken, I think is the English title. It's 3 girls. One of them may or may not be into animation, but 2 of them really are. And basically, they're just teaming up to just have fun and do animations together. And it's the art and animation is like really rad. And the designs and stuff too.
It's really imaginative too.
Yes.
The settings are quite something else.
It really shows off like creativity.
Now, again, I've only watched 1 episode of this, but it's good so far. So.
I'm gonna say this for just to say for Amy, the Adventure Zone.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Adventure Zone is a podcast, so I know it's not everyone's thing, but if you're listening to this podcast, maybe.
Maybe.
It's by the McElroy brothers, and you can find it on Maximum Fun. This is like a free plug, isn't it? The Adventure Zone, it saved my life, dude. It's amazing. It's a real play tabletop RPG podcast. It's comedy. They make a lot of dick jokes, and that could turn some people off at the beginning. But about maybe 12 episodes in, they get serious about the plot and like moving forward and creating a story together. And it's a pretty wholesome experience because you get to see the characters go from like just lackadaisical, nonchalant people to these really well-developed characters who have like goals and development within the world. And it's a collaborative storytelling thing. And it's made me want to play like D&D with like you guys and stuff. I don't know. It's a pretty good experience. The Adventure Zone, at least the first arc, which is called Balance, it's a lot about found family, and that's one of my favorite tropes, but it is a epic journey. It's about 70 hours of just story. A couple months ago, they completed their second story, Amnesty, and they have a bunch of other funny one-shots.
From what I heard so far from it, it's really good. I like it. I need to continue listening to it, but I like listening to them just talk and start to slowly develop the story.
If you're not as interested in like listening to a story told through a podcast medium, they do have 2 graphic novels out right now.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a third, and I think they just got signed on to do a animated series. And so I am so psyched for that. I want to become an animator on that. It's a dream, but I want to work towards it.
One more recommendation, Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Kimetsu no Yaiba
yes.
is a good one.
Yes, definitely.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Beautiful animation.
Yeah.
I said that about everything, but that's because I have a strong aesthetic eye.
I love the characters a lot. They're good.
Yeah.
Yay. Any other final recommendations?
Wait, how can we forget the best one? Modazushi.
They said other than Modazushi is the question.
I'm joking! It's funny, haha!
You one brain cell.
I just wanted to make a joke.
TGCF though.
This question, let's go back to talking about Modazushi. Anon asked, can you talk about some of the characters? What part of the story was a turning point for some of them? To elaborate, what was the turning point for Sushi becoming one of the villains of the story? Or what might have driven Jin Guangyao to the point of helping Nie Mingjue's death along? How did each villain of the stories set up their own death flags? So I guess turning points for villains is the topic.
Well, it's just small things that can slowly roll into bigger things. Like for Sushi, it was the fact that he didn't feel good enough as a Lan, and then he sees Long Wenji being like perfect in everything in his eyes, and he's just like, motherfucker, I should be him.
Yeah.
He just got tired of constantly hearing how great Hong Won-jun was, and he's just like, I'm tired of this bitch.
Well, I don't think that's like the greatest villain motivation. Like, I would never turn evil because I was jealous of someone, but
that just shows how pathetic Susha is.
Some people do. Some people
do. Exactly. Like, it's not an unrealistic thing for someone in the Lan clan to actually be jealous of, the perfect Han Guanjun. I thought that was like, when we first saw Sushi, I thought it was pretty interesting how there was a Lan member he was kind of brushed off to the side. I didn't think much of him, and then he became a shitty person, and I was like, okay, I see how it is.
He just wanted a little spotlight, but every time he tried to like mimic something that Han Won-jun would do, because he's just like, oh, he did this, so maybe I can do this. People would just be like, what the fuck are you doing, you goddamn dumbass? Why'd you throw your sword in the fucking lake? But Han Won-jun did it. He's Han Won-jun.
Like, it didn't work out for him whenever he tried to imitate, so then it was just like, oh, that just made him...
He got salty.
Yeah, he got salty.
Not to mention his unlawn characteristics, like in the cave where they're just like, hey, give me Minmin, and like scared he goes to fucking grab Minmin, and Long Wenji's just like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that was the moment where I turned against him, because you don't hurt women, you don't hurt good Minmin like that.
You need to drink your respect women juice.
It just showed how pathetic and how cowardly he was, so it was just like really...
I always feel like a certain amount of, with cowardly characters, even when they're villains, I feel a certain amount of empathy there, because I would be a coward in that situation probably. I wouldn't put someone else's life on the line, but I understand why he was scared.
Yeah.
And why he thought that would be the best decision to make.
I imagine that if like maybe he got a little more recognition and people weren't so belittling of him, he wouldn't have turned out the way he was, but that's exactly what made him go into his turning point of being like, I'm gonna be an asshole now.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even seem like he was belittled all that much. Like, objectively, from story standpoint.
I feel like it was mostly...
I feel like it was humiliation, mostly.
Yeah, and also just like his personality, he just couldn't handle that kind of pressure that Han Guangjun was like part of his clan, but he felt like he was always at the bottom. So then it's just his personality wasn't like the type to like keep on striving to be better. It was more like he just kept on like letting it beat him down, and then he turned out the way
Yeah.
inferiority complex a little bit.
I imagined he looked up to like Long Won-ji, so that's why he kind of tried to mimic him.
Yeah.
And still try to mimic him even after he left Mulan clan.
Oh yeah.
But because he was also constantly like overshadowed by Han Won-jun because he was like the number one Lon, or like he was a perfect example of a Lon, he's just like, God damn it.
I mean, it's kind of weird though, because like he was good enough to go on the like first Waterborne Abyss mission. He was good enough to go with them, and so he was obviously like good enough, and like he was able to make his own clan too, even though it was a ripoff of the lands. He was strong enough there in that sense, enough to make his own like small clan. But I guess, you know, when you're in the big kid pool, but you're at the bottom of the big kid pool,
Yeah.
and like you kind of feel worthless.
The kiddie pool.
You're not the big fish in the kiddie pool, you're the small fish in the big kid pool. So
Yeah.
but you know, he's too big for the kiddie pool.
Now, in the matter of Jin Guangyao, his turning point probably was just when he got kicked down those fucking stairs. Like, he was sent out to the Jins because his mom was just like, this is your dad, he's gonna take care of you, you know, he gave me this, you know, everything's gonna be fine, and he's expecting things to be fine. He's like, oh, this man is honorable, he couldn't possibly do this kind of shit. He goes to the gates and he gets kicked down, and not only that, he gets told that that's just the common pro the guy gives to people that he sleeps with. Like, I'm not saying that's like probably the starting turn point, but it was some kind of turn point where he's just like, what the fuck?
Like the first discovery.
Yeah, it's like the first discovery, and then it progressed from there.
I feel like that was, to me, that's not quite the turning point for Jin Guangyao. It's like the first thing of many bad things, but
yeah,
you know, like he was treated nicely by Nia Mingjue. Nia Mingjue praised him. He was good to him, but then what was the thing that made him so shitty, I guess?
Well, the thing is that after when Jin Guangyao saw his chance to kind of like rise up in his case to be like recognized, and he did the things that he did, Mingjue was just like, yo, that shit isn't honorable, dude. What the fuck did I not teach you, bro? And Jin Guangyao's like, listen, I'm doing this so I can have a better life for me, yo. And Mingjue is just like, listen, you don't do this kind of shit. You either live the life you have now, or you die in you know, he's on honor and bullshit, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jin Guangyao's just like, listen, honor can suck my ass. If you're not with me, then you're against me. That's kind of the basis of what I got.
Yeah.
Like, Jin Guangyao didn't really care about following the morality code that, like, Nia Mingjue is, like, all about. So, Jin Guangyao really wanted to, like, get up there,
He just wanted to rise up.
There was I don't know if it was, like, a meta I read, or if this was in the novel. I don't remember at this point, but I think there was, like, a certain thing where Jin Guangyao was telling Nia Mingjue, you don't understand, you've been born into this while I had to work my way up. And I think that's a pretty interesting thing to consider, I guess, like, privilege? Where, you know, Nia Mingjue can focus on all this, like, honor stuff, the things that, like, he was born into. Because he was born into, like, the Nia clan as the sect leader and all that. But Jin Guangyao had to, not quite had to, said that he had to. It definitely had other choices.
Yeah.
Jin Guangyao comes from a place growing up on the streets and having to take what he can get. So, like, you know, he grew up with those knockoff cultivation novels, How to Be a Cultivator for Dummies. And, you know, it just didn't work out for him, but he still managed to get something out of it. You know, he worked with what he had. And though he was pretty terrible about pushing the blame off himself, he was still coming from a place of rags to riches almost.
I guess he just felt like he had to go on this path, maybe because his mom gave him the idea, because that was the last thing his mom asked of him.
And he just really loved his mom, so it was like...
He did.
He loved his mom, and he
practically worshipped her, because, like, he had that statue built and everything, so...
He revered her as a god, which, you know, that's never something you should do to a person. Much like Sushi to Han Guan-jun. Oh no! It's all connected!
Connections! But I imagine just that he's doing all this just because he probably thinks this is probably what his mom would have wanted. Just like
Yeah.
his mom wanted him to be, in a sense, in a better place where he wasn't just on the street being the prostitute's son and all that. So he's just like, listen, I want to make my mom proud, so I'm doing all of this. I have to do it because my mom wanted this for me.
I feel like at certain points he may have like wavered between actually doing the right thing, but then in the end, what won out was like remembering his mother's last wishes, so then he went with that instead.
Yeah.
Like, homeboy had some issues.
He did.
There's a lot of it that's not just turning points, but rooted in their characters.
Yeah.
Especially for Jin Guan Yao, but that's
Yeah.
just because he's the most developed, so that it's easy to talk about him. But it's not just one thing. There's not just one tipping point. It builds up in a way.
It's like a seed planted into someone based on different events is what determines whether or not it sprouts or not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it kind of just sprouted for Jin Guang Yao.
There's a certain interesting sort of meta when it comes to thinking about how there was turning points for the Yiling Laozi too.
Yeah.
So like, you know, he had his turning point is very clear and obvious. It's when Jin Zishuan died.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, things went downhill, but things were still ultimately rooted in Wei Wuxian's beliefs of trying to protect the things that he valued, which were at the time the Wens. And when he lost all that, you know, he lost it.
He was just like, time to go ape shit.
That set up his own death flags in that sense. But the good thing about Wei Wuxian is that he got his redemption arc.
Yeah.
And his core values were very different from, say, Su She or Jin Guang Yao, because his core values was to do good.
His intentions were good, in the words of Long Wanji.
Su She and Jin Guang Yao's values were more like, in going by the terms black and white, theirs were more black, while Wei Wuxian's was more gray, if that makes sense.
For Susha and Jingguang Yao is more towards like a way of profiting for themselves. Like Susha wanted, well, both of them really wanted like recognition and everything.
Yeah.
Like to profit from that ish. And then Wei Wuxian was just like, he was just doing it to like be good.
Wei Wuxian was vibing.
He was just vibing.
He was just vibing. He just wanted to like live well, live good.
But it was because of that kind of set him up for all that terrible shit to happen.
Yeah.
Because he literally went like, yo, I'm doing nothing wrong. And they're just like, we don't care. Like, you could be doing all this.
Maybe Modazushi has been a story about if you guys want attention, it could end up bad.
Yeah.
And if you don't, like Han Guanjun and Wei Wuxian, you get the hottest dude. That's the true moral of the story. Are we good with this topic?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we want to move on to the mindfulness moment?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's take a water break, y'all.
Water break.
Stuff some marshmallows in my mouth.
That's not water.
Who says?
Oh no.
That does like the opposite of what water does to your mouth.
That's okay. Callie's not the one doing the mindfulness moment.
That's true.
Do you want us to mute for this?
I don't think it really matters for this one, but
Okay.
if you wanna.
I'll mute.
What are you laughing at?
The noises from, I think it's Cali's end.
Yeah, because I'm closing my marshmallows. You got a problem?
It was just funny. I don't know why.
I'm fucking being considerate and closing it now so I don't disturb you while you're doing your mindfulness moment, bro.
I'm gonna mute.
Fucking incredible.
One mindful moment goes a long way. Today I will not be reading a poem. Today I'll be going through this exercise that is supposed to encourage empathic connection with others through mindfulness. And so basically this exercise can really be done anytime, any place, really. Not in classes and stuff though, obviously, but this exercise is sometimes called heartfulness or loving kindness. And it's basically about sending kind thoughts to someone and even yourself if you want to. So I am going to guide you through this exercise and I hope it will bring some happiness to you. Please get into your mindful bodies. Put your hand on your heart and think of someone that you see regularly that makes you happy. It could be someone you know, or someone you don't know well, or it can even not be a person but a furry companion like a pet. As you imagine this someone, see them with a big smile on their face, hear them laughing about something funny, and feel their positive energy. In the case of a pet, just imagine all the silly antics they might do. Now, as you keep your hand placed on your heart, let your heart fill up with kindness until it's so full it might burst. Now send all this kindness to this person or pet, allowing it to flow directly from your heart to their heart. As you let this kindness continue to flow from heart to heart, repeat silently, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you be strong, may your heart be filled with love and kindness. Sit quietly for a few more moments as you continue to send these kind thoughts. And that is the heartfulness exercise. You can unmute now.
Ooh.
Heartfulness is a really cute name.
Heartful.
I thought it was really cute.
My heart is full.
My heart is full too. Sending all my love towards you guys.
Oh.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you guys for joining us for the 12th episode of Emperor Smile podcast. If you ever have any more questions, you can send them to our Curious Cat. They are linked in the video description below.
Topics as well?
Yes.
Yeah, we need some more questions, so please do send those in if you have any. For announcements, we were thinking of opening up our Discord server so that you listeners can join in and talk to us. You can let us know if you're interested in that, also at our Curious Cats, or you can DM us at any of our Twitters. We're thinking of organizing the server a little more, and then you guys can just drop your questions in there or suggestions for the podcast too.
Yeah.
Things you might want to see us doing. So, anything else to add to that, you guys?
Be gay, do crimes.
Be gay, do crimes. Thank you for sharing a laugh with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.